One easy way to improve the persuasiveness of your speech is to make sure you're avoiding logical fallacies. Logical fallacies are one of the easiest ways for you to tank your argument and your overall message. That's why in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about what logical fallacies are and why you want to avoid them. So let's start with a basic definition of logical fallacy. Logical fallacies are weaknesses in the construction of our arguments, and they're mostly associated with improper or poor reasoning. So logical fallacies are the errors in reasoning that undermine the logic and the credibility of our argument that we're trying to make. And so we want to avoid those logical fallacies at all costs. When we consider the basic structure of an argument, we know it has three parts: the claim, the evidence, and the reasoning. Now, the claim is just the point that you want your audience to accept. The evidence is the data that you have that you believe shows that your claim is correct. And the reasoning is supposed to be a logical connection, that bridge that shows why the evidence actually supports the claim that you are making. With logical fallacies, oftentimes that reasoning process, that bridge or that connection, there's an issue there. There's something going awry with that reasoning process. Think of a basic argument that you hear a lot on television. A lot of times we hear in commercials about toothpaste that you should buy this toothpaste because 9 out of 10 doctors recommend it. That is an argument. We have the claim, you should buy the toothpaste. We have the evidence, the testimony of the 9 out of 10 doctors or dentists. And then we also have that reasoning process. And in that commercial, the reasoning process is probably something to the effect of, right, since experts in their field, the dentists or doctors, are likely to be more correct, we can trust their recommendation. But that might not always be the case. There might be that explanation or that reason that doesn't make sense, or the audience is not willing to buy that connection. Now, we want to avoid logical fallacies for two main reasons. First is about the persuasiveness or the effectiveness of our speech, and the second is about ensuring we have ethical, sound discussions. So first of all, when we use logical fallacies, astute audience members will know those logical fallacies. They'll be able to see that there isn't a connection between the evidence and the claim, and so you're going to be less persuasive to them just on the basis that you don't have a quality argument. Logical fallacies can also make it look like you just don't really understand the issue, or you're misrepresenting the issue in some shape, way, or form. And again, astute audience members will notice that, think you don't know your stuff, and that can hurt your ethos. So logical fallacies undermine our logos, our logical appeals to our audience, and also usually our ethos or our credibility, trustworthiness, and good character. In terms of ethics, logical fallacies also undermine our ability to have good discussions. Those logical fallacies cloud our judgment. They make it so we aren't accurately understanding the issues, and that leads to poor decision making that can hurt us and the people that we are talking about. Think about it. If you're deciding things based off erroneous arguments, then you're more likely to make incorrect decisions as opposed to the correct ones. And so we want to base our judgments on sound logic as opposed to logical fallacies. And now that you know a little bit more about what logical fallacies are, it's going to be helpful for you as an advocate to learn specific logical fallacies that you want to avoid in your speaking. And so that's our next video, 10 common logical fallacies that you want to avoid while speaking and you don't want to be persuaded by when you are an audience member. Check out that video. Until next time, have a good one.